And welcome to the Independent Investor channel. I'll give you 3 bonus minutes here. Time marches on like usual. It's been about 5 weeks since I've done a live stream. Make no mistake about it, whether or not I come onto social media or I'm behind the scenes engaged in my day-to-day mission, my professional obligations, my business, always helping people. Had some really, really cool interactions with some people who have reached out to me. Channel's been long-standing. We've been throwing down on YouTube for quite some time. I'm proud of the project. It's very cool. It's kind of moved into a momentum stage where the progress progresses no matter what, which is a very exciting time. The subscriber base is still strong. The subscriber base are those that really they totally understand where we're coming from and what we're trying to do with the mission. But people reach out to me all the time. People that I had no idea follow the channel. One in particular got a hold of me last week and started talking to me about coming to the United States and only being here for 10 years and working as a security guard. And we got to talking because he was kind of talking about his exit strategy to go back to Greece. A shout out to Carl, who's a devout subscriber to the channel anyway. And I just said, hey man, how's the channel worked out for you? He said, Ryan, I've put together 100 grand based on the information that you talk about, fundamental investing. Anybody can do it. I knew nothing. I still don't know anything. Been able to accumulate cash. How is that possible? How is it that people who know nothing about investing can adhere to fundamentals of investing, put themselves on a discipline, put themselves on a little bit. I provide a little bit of counsel as far as your pockets of expertise. If you want to be passive, you want to be, dividend growth investing, you want to dabble with a little bit of growth, you can do that too. But it's happened quite a few times over the last 5 weeks. I've been engaged equally as busy in some professional obligations of mine. I'm super happy. I'm by no means a wealthy person. A wealthy person doesn't have to work. I do. Okay. So for all the working class out there, all the blue collar workers out there that are trying to earn a living in this crazy life, man, I tip my hat to you. Very, very interesting time for me, and that I've got to parse up my day. I started about 4:45 in the morning. I was in the gym every single day this week. How did you do? So the investing psychology takes on a whole new meaning when you look at this thing holistically. Investing's not going anywhere. And in my time of being away from the live stream, I watched some craziness happen in the stock market. I got to monitor the roaring kitty, and I thought, well, there's not a lot of my subscribers that were buying into that whole thing. I look at it a little different. I'm entertained by it. I sit back sometimes and say, look, I mean, this is the society that we have where we can create these types of things. And, crazier things have happened, and they will continue to happen with the emergence of information and more importantly, I think the use of information. I've got Mariusz on in the backstage here. He's going to come on and join us for tonight's live stream, and it's going to be great to hear his insights on what I consider to be an absolutely dead small cap market right now. And there was some projections I caught today from some interviews that would suggest that it's not going to let up. I think there's the majority of the market want to rotate into what's working, and that's where you get these AI bubbles like Nvidia. And my friends, if something I've learned over the last 30 years of investing in my life, nothing, and I mean nothing, you can take this to the bank, lasts forever, nothing. Okay. NVIDIA too will have its correction. All right. So if you've got yours and grandmother's house and mortgage leveraged against NVIDIA, you're putting your loyalty in the wrong place. I'm not suggesting NVIDIA is not a great company. All right. But this momentum is atypical of the stock market. Conversely, I start to look at the value proposition in some of our smaller companies, especially along the small cap market, those companies that are starting at around $1 billion to around $2.5 to $3 billion in market cap. There's significant deep value there, and it's just being discarded right now in the market. So I want to welcome everybody to the live stream. I kicked on a little bit early. I'm going to go a little overtime tonight just because it's glad to be back. I missed the project, but when I'm out of pocket, I'm absolutely out of pocket. There's not a whole lot I can do about that, guys. But I did miss the project. I would love to hear from you guys. Make your way in. Make yourself a drink on a Friday on a live stream. Think of some of those questions that you might want to run by me, because I've had some really interesting stuff come my way on the back end. People who are interested in saying hi, getting my thoughts on certain things and where the stock market is. We're going to talk about that and much, much more. Take a small break, guys. We'll be back with you in just a moment. 𝑪𝑢𝑠, good evening to you. How are you, my friend? Welcome to the live stream.
Hey, I caught a little bit of your...
Good, man. It's good to have you. I've got a small audio problem here. Let me see if I can knock this out for a sec. Stand by a sec. 𝑪𝑢𝑠, you want to say, I think my audience has got you good. I don't have you just yet. Let me try to troubleshoot this. It's been a while here. Gonna knock off the cobwebs and see what's going on, man. But say hi to the audience, man. Let them know what you've been doing, what you've been working on, and what your current focus in the market is.
Now, are you able to hear me now?
There we go.
I'm not sure if people can hear me or not.
Can you hear me okay, 𝑪𝑢𝑠?
Yeah, I can hear you. How about you?
Okay, now I got you. I just took the ears off.
Yeah, cool. So what I was saying is, I caught a little bit of your talk about, NVIDIA and GameStop. Like every day I feel like I'm in a mental institution, like honest to God. And I mean, just let's think about this for a second from 2 points of view. They just raised $3 billion for a worthless company, okay? And if you go on Twitter, that's all they're talking about. Like, that's all they're talking about. So before, we were supposed to get a squeeze, okay? Like, we were supposed to get a squeeze because he had, what, 12 million call options, and we were supposed to not find enough shares to satisfy if he exercised them. Okay, we were going to go to the moon. Then the company came out and printed 75 million shares. So that went out the window. Okay, we're going to be able to deliver those shares. Okay, no problem. Who cares? We're going to be the next Berkshire Hathaway now. Like, GameStop is going to be the next Berkshire Hathaway. Look, they got 4 billion or 3 billion in cash. I mean, they're going to be Berkshire Hathaway, acquiring this, acquiring that. And then you go to Twitter and you see pictures of a cat, and then they're looking at a freaking part on a cat's face, and they're reading a number 5, and they're like, you know what I'm talking about? Right? Yeah. And then they're like, okay, the number 5 means something. The stock is going to go to 5,000. Or in 5 days, there's going to be a annual meeting, and he's going to be, I don't know. I honest to God, if Jesus was alive today, he'd be in trouble. It's just ridiculous. And I'm like, you know what? I'm wearing black underwear today. I'm sending you a freaking signal that one of my stocks is going to moon. I mean, it is just absolute insanity what's going on. And I'm just like every time I go to Twitter and I see something crazy like this, I take a picture of it and I put it in my phone. Like, for the future, like, I'm going to make a video. It's like, this is what we have. This is This is the legends of investing, like right here.
Yeah.
This is what
Yeah.
they're saying. Like one post, I said it in my video, if GameStop reaches 2,300, he's going to be worth $40 billion. I mean, just what, I want to know what they're smoking and injecting into their veins, like honestly, because
Yeah.
if like, can you imagine if GameStop owned Aduro, acquired Aduro? I mean, shit, it would be like, it would be a $10 trillion company. I mean, here we're sitting like nobody cares on our side. It's like, we have the best technology. I can't hear you. I don't care. It's got to be a scam. And if GameStop acquired Aduro or any of my companies I talk about, I mean, Moon would be nothing.
I know.
And that's the life we're living. It's like it's unreal. Somebody will post, a picture of a cat, and then the stock is going to go up, and then we are on the other side trying to tell people, of great companies that have great things going, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's unbelievable. And you know what, Ryan, do you have a Discord group dedicated to hating Ryan? Do you know that I was told today that a Discord group was started just to hate me?
Oh, just to hate you?
Yes, there's a Discord group.
That's when you know you've come into your own on YouTube, man, when people start hating. But I tell you, I've been monitoring my stuff the last, I'd say 6 months, and I would say that the majority of my stuff is negative. And I just, I've got people coming on and they give me some long answer as to why they need to leave the channel and why they can't stay with me and all this stuff. And it's like, look, everybody invests the way they invest. There's different pockets and everybody's got a different philosophy. Why can't you entertain different strategies? That's what I respect about you. I can't play the game that you play. Okay. I can't. I don't need to. And I sleep easy at night. Okay. What I try to do is define what I'm capable of doing. And I don't doubt your talent and in your capability to do what you do. I don't quite understand why people can't understand that. Like when I watch your channel, and you're one of the few, if not the only channels that I even watch anymore, I don't have time. I don't have the bandwidth. I can't sit there and monitor that Twitter banter because just about every second to my day is filled up. But if it's not for you, move on. Okay. And your strategy is not for everybody. All right. I do it in part as an augmentation to other avenues of investing that I do. I mean, I do alternative investing. People don't even understand that on the channel, but I do different elements of stock investing. But I'll kindly say that by far my biggest position right now is in Aduro clean technology. It's where I see value. And I don't really care what the market's doing right now, albeit I'm going to tell you right now, Mariusz, I look at it and my pulse of the market, which is pretty right on, is horrible. And in the discussions today about this continuing to be prolonged, nobody sees value, I think could be a big mistake.
When you say the market, you mean the market for Aduro?
Microcap. Yeah, the microcap market and the broader market as well. Don't get me wrong, the underlying fundamentals right now are at 52-week lows. The vast majority of the S&P 500 are approaching recessionary levels. The technology and one other sector are outpacing in 2024. The rest of the sectors are negative for the year.
Yeah, so so we're just seeing attention in just a few places.
Couple stocks.
Nvidia, right? GameStop, few other things, AI, and that's
Microsoft has done well. Apple just took a nice leg up, but all technology, and you can't have a rally, a broad rally, without the rest of the sectors participating. Furthermore, this is not indicative of a full bull market if small caps are not going to participate. And right now, small caps are off a couple bips in 2024. That's just where we are. It's horrendous. And I'll add to it, I don't think the Canadian exchange is that good. I own Aduro in 4 different accounts. I look at it and they can't figure out from day to day where my value is. I'll have the stock up and my brokerage account will show it down, you know? And so even the price that registers, it seems like there's some fluctuation. So I'm like, look, I can hardly sell the stock with some level of confidence in where it's trading right now. You know, everybody knows that I'm a long holder in Enduro Clean Technology, and rightfully so. But yeah, just watch the price action. It registers late. It's not very highly covered. It doesn't trade a lot of volume throughout the day. So, you know, tracking it throughout the day and just checking in on it, you never know where it's going to be throughout the day. So trying to time it throughout the day or the week or even a month, like we've been on a little bit of a retracement, a little bit. I actually like how the stock is trading because it's holding in significantly well against a backdrop of a market that's been absolutely horrendous. And then you've got a company that does nothing but release positive information. The latest news that they had just revalidated again their ability to recycle complex, you know, the complex plastics, you know, which is a follow on to the last announcement they have of dealing with, you know, tires. And I don't understand why people aren't more interested in at least discussing this. They don't have to invest in the stock, but at least follow the
Well,
story.
and you know what? And think about this again from the point of view of going to GameStop. They raised $3 billion for a worthless company.
Horrible.
Can you imagine what Aduro could do with $3 billion?
I know.
Imagine
what,
for the world. How
No,
many
I-
facilities? And what do? We throw it on a GameStop. Like who? Like, okay, you don't have to be a genius. Like, do you think 5 years from now people are going to be buying games on a disc?
They don't do it now.
Right? They don't do it. I mean, some do it because they have revenues, but like, you
Yeah.
know, Warren Buffett always talks about, you know, what's the company going to look like in 10 years? Like, there's going to be no business in 10 years.
No.
And they're throwing billions of dollars into this piece of nothing, and not even wanting to or caring about companies that can change the world for the better. It's not just making money here. It's actually being in solutions. They don't care. And it's just like, it's mind-boggling to me that this is, I mean, like, I feel like I am living in a mental institution day in and day out.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's frustrating. You've been investing a long, long time. You know that this will pass, but we're just in a really, really dry spell right now. It's dry. And I don't, you know, what can move Aduro? My tweet to Aduro this morning was really simple. They come out with a small piece of information, one card, and the stock moves. Stock moved up a couple of bits today. That is directly related to those injects, but Aduro is pretty conservative in that they're close to the vest with releasing information. So you can be rest assured when they do release information, it's legit, right? So rightfully so, that should move the stock. But how much more is necessary? I mean, if you put Plurilock's revenue in Aduro's back pocket, what could they do with that? You know, where would the stock be if they just had Plurilock, which is also, it's not even worth acknowledging where they're trading right now based on their top end revenue and what they're approaching. You know, I don't want to say it on a live stream, but anybody who looks at the financials can look at a company here that's severely undervalued in a market in technology. I do suggest has been on fire, but I think there is value in cyber. I do think that's one of the micro, you know, areas of value in tech that you can actually invest in with some confidence. So not only do they have that emerging niche there, but and an exciting sector to invest in. It's extremely undervalued. I can't put my thumb on it. All I can do is continue to be patient. I think this landscape, I've just chalked up 2024 as a loss. If I get some appreciation out of the stock, so be it. You know, projections don't align. I'm talking about Aduro right now. Projections don't necessarily align, you know, for movement based on their projections a little bit later down the line. But that doesn't mean that it can't out of the blue move the stock. That was to your point last time we spoke. And I think it's going to move, and I think it's going to move when people least expect it. You know, stocks like this will lull you to sleep. And people will watch it and they'll be like, man, it's down, it's down, it's down, it's down. And what do? They sell it, right? They sell the stock because they have no conviction to hold and understand what they own. And that's the time when you really have to be careful about the thing re-rating on you. And it's going to re-rate. It's inevitable. It cannot continue to trade at these recessed valuations. I'd like to see Aduro bring in a little bit more money. If they could just provide some top end. I was glad that the funding raise was upped. I think they could have upped it to 5 million. Me and you can agree on that because they shut it down, right? So that to me, I thought was a significant move in how they're funding the business right now. But that only goes so far as far as moving the stock in the right direction. For me as a long shareholder, I want to make sure they're solvent. But until they can start to, really produce some top end revenue, which is inevitable, I think we're stuck in this little bit of a quandary. At least the market perceives it that way, 𝑪𝑢𝑠. So.
Well, after this private placement closes, and then there's July warrants coming in, they'll be sitting on like $7 million worth of
cash. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. I love it. That's all I care about is Aduro keeps afloat. That's all I care about. Because with every day that goes by, every single day, every new customer that's onboarded to the company is just one step in the right direction. And a lot like Charbonne, right? They need that first domino to fall. Aduro kind of needs that first domino to fall as well, right? And I'm talking about into that collaborator state, where they can actually release. And I don't want to say too much. I really don't. I'm really trying to adhere with what Ofer's trying to put together. And I do believe him, and I do believe Eric when they speak about how they need to remain closed because the competitive landscape is such to garner that type of secrecy around what's going on.
A lot of times, Yazan and I, we talk about various different things that can happen or happened, and I'm always like, look, it's not going to matter. None of it is going to matter. There's only two things that will matter: collaboration or moving to NASDAQ. That's it. Nothing else matters. It doesn't matter if they add 20 multi-billion dollars to their customer engagement program. It doesn't matter if their
I got to agree with you.
If their yield is 95%, 96%, 120%, nobody's going to care.
I should be able to disagree with you, man, but I can't.
Yeah, that's only two things matter: clients or NASDAQ. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Or Aduro ticker symbol on Roaring Kitty's cap. That's it.
No.
That's it.
I know. And if that happened, the stock would move. I don't quite understand. I'm just a small fry in the world, in my small corner of the world. I watch that stuff and it's just like soap operas and professional wrestling. I don't understand either one of them, and I don't understand that. I went on to the live stream, 𝑪𝑢𝑠. She was supposed to come on at like noon or something. I went in there and the thread was going by so fast, but the threads that I were reading, it was incredible. And I'm going on there and I'm like, I'm financing my house to buy GME. There wasn't one negative comment. Like, hey, maybe this is not right. They're all just worshiping, and I'm like, is this for real? I mean,
it is.
These are real people like out there, and this is what they think that I don't know, participating in financial markets is all about. It's entertaining to me, and I logged off. I didn't catch 1 second. He was late to the live stream, so I thought, okay, I'm out of here. But fascinating, man. How
this is the world we live in. But I wanted to go back to Pluralike a little bit.
Sure.
Because you see, this whole thing about presenting people with investment ideas, because I know a lot of times when you talk, you get so frustrated. I can see it in your voice. And like I brought Pluralike to your attention.
Yep.
And you looked at it, you talked about it, and then I think you ended up buying some shares.
Correct.
Right? And it, like, nobody forced you to do it. I showed you the idea. I didn't say, hey, you have to buy it. you came to your own conclusion, looking at it with your own eyes, and then you made a decision. And that's how it should be. And that's how people should look at any of these ideas is, here's Ryan, here's Mariusz, here's Yazan, here's Penny, here's whatever, showing you an idea. You look at it. You look at it and you decide on your own. And if you don't want to look at it, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth because you don't know what you're talking about. Not until you look at it, you have not earned your right to open your mouth.
Yeah, I don't know. People think they just need to be compelled, or they feel compelled to engage with somebody just doing something very simple like offering an idea. Furthermore, I would say that, you know, I've worked on my my moxie in investing a long time. I'm going to share my portfolio when a little bit later in the live stream, but you know, I've built up the opportunity, I've built up the tolerance, I've built up the psychology, I've built up everything that I need to be almost eligible to take part in these opportunities. Okay, because these could potentially be life-changing opportunities. Okay, to be honest with you, the financials I looked at were solid. They're worth investing in. Any investor can look at it and see that the financials are worth investing in. A couple of intangibles with regard to the instinct was the interview that I caught on Ian Patterson, the CEO, and his speaking about bringing on his CFO and how those cost-cutting initiatives fell into the financial statements, right? And how they've really turned the corner and transitioned their business, and to question where those margins are coming from is really the key with Plurilock. It's not hard, Mariusz. It's actually quite simple. You know, what makes it difficult, I think, is when people come on and they think that that is the total landscape, or somehow I've surrendered, you know, my perspective that I run for my wife, who has a completely different psychology, philosophy, and approach to investing than I do, right? You know, it's as if people hold a grudge against me for offering an idea, you know, and they think that somehow I've surrendered what I've done since I was 15 years old. I'm 46 now. I've invested passively in markets my whole life. And that is a bold statement, but it's something that people fail to acknowledge in their own capability, in that if they could just do that, maybe they could be sitting on, you know, some real net worth to give them an opportunity to expand in the microcap space, which, you know, it can be very lucrative. It can turn on a dime. I've seen it many times. I've talked to many people. This is very real, but I think the normal populace out there, quite frankly, would rather buy a $5 lottery ticket and play a futile game that is statistically impossible to win. That's what I think.
Yeah. Well, and also we have had this conversation before. Whether it's Aduro, Plurilock, Charbonne, Oracle, Voxter, all of the ideas that you are aware of, like for me, there's a very good reason why I talk about them.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. And the reason is not because maybe I have an IR agreement to help them get exposure.
Correct.
That is not the reason. And
Yep.
what people don't understand also is how many opportunities you and I get on a weekly basis from public companies, and how many of them we say no to.
All of them.
All of them, all the time. Like I only talk about 5 companies on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, you've got 5.
Do you honestly think that there are no other microcap stocks out there? They are knocking on my door all the time.
100%.
Because why wouldn't they? Like what
they have ad budgets they have to spend. Yeah. They have ad budgets they have to spend. They'd rather work with you directly. It's pennies on the dollar by employing you directly. It actually saves them money as opposed to going through a third-party intermediary. This is what people don't understand about the business. And furthermore, I know, see, I do business now with 3 companies. That's it. And that's the way that will roll on the independent investor channel. I own stock in all 3 of them. I just enjoy that connection piece of it, because if I have enough conviction to talk about it, Mariusz, and share it with people, then I need to have enough conviction to actually put a stake in it. Okay. Now, this isn't a sizable position like Aduro. Aduro is a big position. Okay. And I have to premise that for people in understanding that they don't need to try to copy. I don't try to copy you. You got 10 times my position. But for me and for others, $1,000 in an Aduro clean might be a nice sizable position for them. And to maybe 10x that position to a $10,000 or $15,000 position in a company could be very much the start that somebody needs, to accelerate their wealth building by a matter of months or even a few years, as opposed to waiting 10 or 20 or 30 years on making 7, 8, 9, 10% on a passive program, right? These are life-changing positions. I look at Aduro as being inevitable, and Aduro's, I've said this before, and you took it out of context, I think, last time, correctly and incorrectly, and suggesting that if Aduro was introduced to the market in 2020, it would have got crushed, right? It would have run to $25, and then it would have got crushed down to where it is now, and people would be really bashing the company. But they kind of came in after that wave went through of the SPAC craze and all that stuff. It's going to end up being a net positive. It's just that overhang from 2020 is still very, very much alive. And unfortunately, good companies get drowned out by the noise. And in a lot of cases, a lot of shock factor that a lot of people felt in reality, in that you can't just invest in everything and expect to make money,
Yeah, I mean, Aduro for me is also much bigger position than Charbonne or Plurilock. It's just is. I own all three, but
yeah,
and I think 𝑪𝑎𝑛𝓋𝑎 is in the same boat. Aduro is just in a different. It's in a different category.
It's funny though. Like, if you made, let's say, 10 million bucks, I would say good job. I think that's something that people lack, is that, when somebody knocks down an IR and you're genuinely looking to step forward and pay forward an opportunity for people who, hell, half of them don't appreciate it anyway, why not just separate it? If you're not interested in it, no problem. Go somewhere else. Like you said, shut your mouth. I don't need to be that. Just objectively look at the opportunity and move on. All right. But it certainly doesn't impact my decision when a company is looking to share their message with an open marketplace right now. That, if you went back 10, 15 years ago, this type of social media interaction did not exist. Okay. So if you want to try to judge this from a 50-year historical precedence, my friend, we are writing the script right now. This is a blue ocean. Like you said, I could blast this thing open and do 50 companies and quit my day job. Okay. I will not do that. I could absolutely sell out. I get solicitations all the time through the I2, because the time that companies are willing to pay to put their message out there is invaluable. And in its purity, there are real people out there that would benefit and find value in the information. And these advertisers and these companies that have parlayed hundreds of thousands, if not sometimes millions of dollars put aside for these ad budgets, want to use social media as a portion of that ad spend, and that money has to be spent. That's what people don't understand. Like, the money is going to be allocated. Some of those allocations are going to work less, others are going to work more, but they don't have a choice. They have to advertise. People don't understand that. And I look at it this way: if I have conviction on it, why not through my channel? Why not through yours? I've watched you now for a couple of years, man. I've known you now for a couple of years. I get nothing short of just a genuine message. I like it when you get more pissed off. Me personally, that's my selfish, like, I like when you're fired up. But I sense that there's a genuine intent. And when you're knocking down those deals, man, I just think it amazes me how it escapes people in their inability to just shake somebody's hand and say, good job in what you're trying to do. I read your report I've got Charbonne in front of me, and you say it at the end of the report. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was genuine, and I thought you put it right there on the table. Here's what it is. Here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm thinking. I just thought that was about as genuine as you can get. I don't know what else to say. That's how I took it.
You know, thanks for that. And also
Sure.
what 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 I'm doing, what you're doing is like you have a position in a particular company, and you or we are adding value to our companies by
Yeah.
doing what we're doing. Why wouldn't I want to do this? I own close to 1 million shares in 𝑪𝑢𝑠𝑡𝑜𝑚. Why wouldn't I want to add value?
Yeah.
Right? Why should I go into hiding and keep my mouth shut when I think this is the greatest company in the world? Like this is a no-brainer to me. And also, being a little bit cocky here, I don't think anybody can do a better job than me.
No. Yeah, I know. That's a good point.
You know, what am
You
I
know.
supposed to do? Tell them, hey, go and do it on your own? No, I am cocky, and I think I am the best at doing this message. I put my heart on the line. I made almost 100 videos. I explain it. I don't think anybody is as good in the world as me. So why shouldn't I be the one doing it?
Well said.
And that's what I told to 𝑇𝒉𝑢𝑚 when I was approached by them. I liked the idea, and I said, look, if you don't hire me as IR, I'm out. I'm out because nobody can do what I do.
Yeah.
If you want me in, if you want me to put in the money, if you want my people to put in the money, I have to be the one talking about your story. Otherwise, I'm
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And it's not the other way around, that 𝒉𝑢𝑚 comes to me and says, hey, we want to pay you. Can you tell our story? No. It will never be like this. Nobody can pay me. I get so many things. Hey, what's your fee schedule? There is no fee schedule here. There's you cannot pay me to talk about your company that I don't like. I have to like it. And then if I like it, from now on, if you don't hire me, I'm not getting involved, because I am tired. I'm tired of putting money into companies thinking that people are just going to come and find their stock. Like, this is not going to happen. I talked about it on my video. These microcap stocks are like retail stores in a ghetto.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
let
you
me.
need to bring people in. You need to shove it down their throat. This message in today's market, you have to shove it down their throat because they don't want to listen.
I agree with that. You're only going to get through to certain people too, but here's what's going to unfold over the next couple of years. Okay. You know this, I know this. I'm just the guy to deal with it, because I will not come onto YouTube with a red nose and crazy clown hair and act like a fool. Because I know it's going to happen already. Okay. If you want to talk about arrogant or cocky, no problem. You can call it what you will. You cannot engage in stock market investing. This is not minor leagues. This is the major leagues. Okay. You can't engage in this without some level of confidence in your ability and to due diligence. And in my case, to come back from some bad beats too. I've had bad beats. You know, everybody has it. What I find appalling is this idea somehow that people are out there looking for that perfect Messiah, somebody who's going to marshal them through the stock wonderland and show them every single dagger that's going to bring them to the promised land. I don't get that mentality, but here's what's going to unfold over the next couple of years, man. I agree with you. I give you and Penny pretty much all the credit for bringing YouTube. I like one of the other YouTubers that does coverage on 𝑪𝑢𝑠𝑡𝑜𝑚 is really good. It's slipping my name.
Green investing.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's really good. Really, really good. So there's some good stuff out there. There's some good independent stuff that I've come across. But as the story unfolds, right? I mean, we're just up about 50% year over year on 𝑪𝑢𝑠𝑡𝑜𝑚. Nothing crazy. I mean, the stock has the potential to really put some magnitude on top of these initial baseline investments, and yours and mine and anybody who's invested in the last, even since IPO, quite frankly, can see you've been paid a little bit, but nothing that is going to compare to the returns that are possible when this thing really starts to hit some momentum. And right now it has none. Right now, everything is manufactured. Everything is, just falls on deaf ears. You get a little bit of movement and a little bit of give back. But I think once that changes, man, I think you're going to get your due paid, man. And I'll come on to social media. I'll say, good job. I like to see people succeed. I'm not a jealous person. I'm fine. I'm happy with me. you know, I don't mind engaging with people who don't mind talking business and actually acknowledging success instead of envying it. And that's the problem in society now is everybody will tune into you and say, I've got to have what you have, but they're not willing to go through the work that you do. That's really what it comes down to. And that's where I get upset with people. I don't get upset that they don't see the opportunity in Aduro. What I get upset with people is they don't try to find their own capability and act upon it. They always want to find somebody else's motivation or somebody else's capability and deploy that for themselves. And that never works. If you don't have conviction on Aduro or any other stock, it's not going to work for you. Okay. You're going to make $1 of appreciation. You're going to sell at $2 and you're gone. Right? Only to see the stock go up, and you'll look back and say, man alive, I had it. Or worse, I had the opportunity and knew about it and did nothing about it. That's going to happen.
Right? I feel the same way. Like, I don't have a problem at all with anybody not finding Aduro, Plurilock, Charbonne suitable for them. No problem at all. Everybody has a different risk profile. Everybody, is in a different spot. What drives me crazy is not looking at it, not understanding it, and then coming out and trashing it. That's what doesn't go well with me. Because going back to green investing, for example, he's independent.
Yeah.
But you see, this is what this whole thing is all about. When I get involved with these companies, is I am the seed. I am the seed of spreading the message, and it's a good message because I screened it already. If it's good enough for me, it's good enough for others. Not everybody, but seeing somebody like Green Investing doing his own homework, going deep and understanding what this opportunity is all about. And now if you get Aduro on a non-ghetto exchange and you get hundreds of green investing type of people talking about this, now we have something. Now we have built a community around it. And this is not a community like GameStop. This is a community around a company that's real, with a real solution, real technology, not some pump and dump that I'm going to come and show you, a picture of a cat with a 5 number on it, and you're going to drive it up. I'm going to make money on my calls. And then after the stock goes down, well, who cares? I already made my money. With these situations, it's like a poker game, zero-sum game. One person has to lose at the benefit of others. Aduro is not like this. It's not a poker game. It's a value creation exercise for investors and society. Because if Aduro ends up being bought out for $10, $20, $30, $40, we are going to make a killing. But the entity that buys this from us is not going to get stolen money from. They're going to receive something of value from us, and they can take that something of value and build a business around it, build a solution for the world around it. That makes me proud that I'm not going to be like, oh, I sold Aduro to somebody else for $20 and they created $1,000 worth of value out of it. No, I'm not going to be jealous that they created something. I'm going to be proud that I made a killing and then I gave something valuable to others, that they turned something into it. GameStop is not like this. It's not like this. It is about robbing others at the benefit for you. That's what they don't get.
Yeah, but I think the element that people need to understand is the power of mainstream media. Roaring Kitty was on CNBC for the last 2 weeks. Every single day, it was a spot right along NVIDIA, right along the biggest stories in the market. It was reporting out on this bullshit. This is what people want to hear. I get it. CNBC is just as guilty as any about playing into momentum, right?
No, I mean they get views. They're in the business of
100%.
selling advertising, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
right.
I mean, look, if I was a intelligent YouTuber, then I would be talking about GameStop as the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
And that's what Meet Kevins of the world do. They know exactly what they give people sugar. No, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to smack you in the head, and I'm going to tell you what it is. And as a result, I am a tiny YouTube channel because I tell you what I think instead of what you want to hear.
Congratulate you on your growth. Actually, I would let me give you some. I've been doing YouTube close to 10 years now. I do it because I enjoy it. I don't. That's just me. It is not a full-time gig for me. It is absolutely something that I love to do on the side, and I do it to the capacity that it doesn't consume me. But if you were in an auditorium and you were able to speak to, let's say, 500 people, 500 people can fill up a room pretty quick. So don't underestimate your reach with 18,000 subscribers. It kind of comes back to, you're going to have a few 100,000 subscribers here in the next couple of years. I'll ask you, and I'll be interested in your opinion whether or not it's worth it or not. The money will be there. I know money's, it's fine. You're already independently wealthy. To make some validation, I think, is more the key. I think it's more or less about the money, and I'm almost speaking through me what it means. The money is a byproduct of a well-laid business plan, okay? And I wouldn't do YouTube if I didn't think there was potential there, and I didn't think there was value in reaching people. And you do reach people, so don't sell yourself short. I look relatively across the board on large YouTube channels that grew, feeding the algorithm to grow those channels. I know those people personally, and they're good people, and they're not bad people for growing their channel and putting out viral video after viral video. Hell, I've never had a viral video, never. I'm almost 1,000 videos deep, and I don't produce content like that, and I don't apologize for it either. If people don't like my shit, they can leave. I don't give a fuck. They can leave. I don't care. I don't care. That's what a lot of people hit me up and they're like, that's why we watch you, Ryan, because I'm a lot of the same as you. They can tell I don't come on and bullshit people.
I mean, it's very important for me. I mean, yes, you said, in the financially independent, I could shut down everything and just,
sure, absolutely,
go and play soccer all day long. But it's very important for me to deliver value. And right now it's tough because no matter what I do, no matter what my companies do, nobody cares. And it's like I want to deliver value for the companies, but most importantly, I want to deliver value for the members of Microcap Explosions. I want to deliver value for people that listen to me on YouTube. I want them to make money on these ideas.
Right.
And that's very important to me. I don't want to run Microcap Explosions, charge people money, and then at the end of the day, they don't get value from it. That's not how I operate. Like I would rather shut it down and go and get a job.
But we can also agree. I think you're one of the best at running that group, and I think the people who join your group are in there for the right reasons. But what you're trying to do, man, is not easy. It's damn hard, and I'll bet you the members of that group that get it, they understand. Okay, you can be presented with 10 ideas. Okay, all 10 of those could fail. All right, one of them could hit, and you're good to go. All right. Now, I would like to think we live in a world that we can evaluate stock and invest in it and be rewarded for that. Unfortunately, my friend, there are headwinds out there outside of our control, okay, that are affecting these stocks in a lot of capacities. I have my premonitions about what some of those factors are, but I watch the action. I make smart ass comments about Aduro, and I don't think Aduro should ever go down. I don't think they should. That's just my evaluation. I've looked at the company top down, left, right, and underneath. I've met, I know all the senior management. I haven't met them all, but what they bring to the table, the stock should never go down. Okay. But I look at the, a company like a not Pluralog, but Pure Cycle, right? Comparatively speaking, that even though that has been trashed down, there's a company that I think should trade for 50 cents. A company that is so heavily laden in debt, that has poured hundreds of millions of dollars into resources into the iron ton. They've got one more facility, right, that they're trying to bring on the line. But there's a company that if you look at, it smells from 50 miles away. I'm right. I'm not wrong. But the stock market will look at those two different equities and they'll reward one by providing support above $5 for Pure Cycle, for example, and driving a company like Aduro below support at $1 over the last, let's say, 4 or 5 months. That's the disconnect that's difficult. That's what makes it difficult. The due diligence, that's quite frankly, the enjoyable part. It's fun. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. It's easy. Anybody who has an eye for stocks can look at the Aduro Clean Technology opportunity and see that there is something there. Now they still have to follow through, 𝑪𝑢𝑠. Nothing is for sure in the stock market. If you think that it is, and you come on and you're excited by my conviction, or they look at you and they're like, hell yeah, we got 2 for 1, man. These guys are badass. No, that's not how it works. Okay, nothing is guaranteed. These guys have got a lot of work. This $7 million that they've raised to fund their business, how are they going to expand? How are they going to spend that money? Who is spending the money? Do you know who the CFO is for Aduro Clean Technology? I do. I know where his loyalty lies with the company and what they're trying to do and what they're entrusted now in doing. They have to navigate carefully, but there's no guarantee in this. And so, back to my point about what you're trying to do here, man, it is not easy. It is hard. It's one of the most difficult things you can do. But I think to the right trained eye, man, I think you put your odds on your side by putting your conviction in those baskets that have the best chance of surviving. And I look at Aduro and I can't be any more proud of the fact that I continue to build my position. I'm looking at it here. It's in no man's land right now where it trades 94 US. It's in a little bit of a no man's land for me because I've got cost basis a little over that. And I've got cost basis way below that. So right now it's just showing strength at this level, and a year in 2024 where they just haven't come out with, updates every other day, right? The stock has just kind of retraced a little bit south. I'm okay with that. But I think once they start these gears moving, man, I think the skies is the limit. It's going to be fun to watch. I'll sit back and calmly watch it. I'll report out on it. When it gets to $10, I'll calmly come on and report about it. And, people can do whatever they want. Hell, they can subscribe from the channel for all I give a shit. I don't care. That's just my 2 cents on it, man.
I continue sending the same message that the money that's going to be made in these microcap stocks is going to be breathtaking. And I keep saying this, and it keeps not happening, and they might go lower and lower. But that's because people are throwing away value. And one thing I'm going to bring it up is my position in Oracle.
Yep.
I've known about this company for 10 years. A quarter of my life I've been in this company. 7 years I held this company, and I went through. They didn't own the asset. They had to fight legal battle for 10 years in the legal court to get access to their asset.
Yep.
Then it was a torture to get a drilling permit, to get it to drill, raise money to drill it, torture. And then eventually we got to a point where they have now a more than $1 billion asset that they own.
Yeah.
And now the stock is less than what it was when they didn't own the property. Okay? Like,
I don't envy your position, man.
Right?
I don't know how you do it, man.
Well,
I'm not that tough, man.
You know what I do?
I can't do it.
I've been playing soccer for 2 years, and now you know what I do? I learn Spanish. I'm learning Spanish.
There you go.
Because it's just like I have to check out from the mental institution.
Yeah,
okay,
I
it's
know.
like you and then you'll go from time to time on Twitter, and people want me to admit that I was wrong on Oracle. And I'm just like, I want to know which mental institution you're in right now. Because when I looked at Oracle 7 years ago, I thought that their asset was worth 500 million. Well, it's worth 2 billion. So sorry, I fucked up. I underestimated by a margin of 4x. Sorry, that was my mistake. Instead of 500, it's worth 2 billion. And you know what? And now stock is less than what it was before they owned the property. And I am supposed to come out and say that I was wrong. Like, I have no problem coming out and saying that I'm wrong about something. And I've done that before. I came out, I messed up, I was wrong. But people want you to say whether you're wrong just based on the stock price during the time when the microcap space is in the worst condition in 30 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
In 30 years.
Yeah. You're wrong when the company is bankrupt. That's when you can come on and say, okay, I'm wrong. Company's bankrupt. We're done. Out of business. We're done. Oracle's doing just fine. Just like all these businesses, they're doing just fine. You know, the microcap space, it's easier to look at established companies and, you know, look at trends of top end growth and all that stuff. This is not the game that the microcap space calls for. But you're looking for opportunity before it happens, you know.
But this is the life. This is like you only have tiny portion of your portfolio in this life, right? My entire world is in this life, right? And I just look at it and then I compare it to the life outside of it, like the roaring kitty type of life. Like, like do you know that I was investigated by 2 regulators just because I have my brokerage account closed by 2 brokerage houses,
I remember that.
Right?
I remember that. Yeah.
For nothing. Nothing. And then I was investigated by 2 brokers, 2 regulators.
Yeah.
And one regulator was talking about, you know, they were worried about, you know, something with Oracle, right? And then I send them my research. Okay, I send them my 20-page report that I did on the legals. I send them all my videos. I send them my book because I put Oracle in my book. And I said to them, if I am a pump and dump, have you ever met a pump and dumper that did this kind of research on a company and visited Mexico 4 times?
That's crazy.
After that email, I never heard from them again.
Never heard. Good.
Right? But in the social media, you hear all kinds of nonsense, right? That you are a pump and dumper, you are this, you are that. They're starting Discord with your name and all this. And like, this puts things in perspective when you see things written about all sorts of things on social media, whether when you're doing your research or reading about professional athletes or this or that. I'm just like, most of it must be crazy nonsense because I know what I'm doing. And if you read about me, I should get a life sentence in prison.
Yeah, right. Well, that's another reason why I like the voice and the Friday live stream. You know, it lets me tell my position, you know, because I can't control what people, what they say. And, you know, people don't really have a filter on what they say on social media. I didn't know you had a Discord. Now I'm kind of jealous, man. I want one. Maybe there's one out there on me too. Hell,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
That's pretty
didn't look at it,
badass, man. Nice job.
I was like the person that told me, I was like, I want to know the title. Like, how did they name it? Mariusz lovers, Mariusz haters,
Yeah.
Mariusz dump and dump. I want to know the title, you know. But yeah, I told my girlfriend about it, and she's like, well, now you made it. You know, that's what
did I say?
celebrities go through. I'm like, yeah, I'm a celebrity, you know, and it's my own damn fault.
Yeah, well, wait. Just wait until you get a little positive momentum in you know, one of these two. You know, it sucks to be patient on this, and it sucks to watch those episodes because it was funny right before the live stream. I think the GameStop reported, and the stock dropped like 15 bucks before the live stream. I was like, wow, that's quite a segue to come on. And I don't know how much he lost. You know, there must have been tens of millions of dollars of losses just in the minutes preceding or leading up to the live stream, just because they reported that morning. And I don't know, what did he expect? I mean, they were going to report a big number. I think their revenues or their sales dropped 70%, and they lost 30 million for the quarter. Just it was horrible. Like, nobody goes in those stores. I mean, they smell. They go into a GameStop. They smell. They stink. They're just shitty businesses. I don't get it.
It must be nice to talk about shitty businesses, post a picture of a cat, and make millions of dollars, and then be called a legend trader. Like, it must be nice, you know.
Is that what people are saying?
Oh, he's a legend. He's a legend, you know. And I asked in the video that I made on my YouTube channel, is this what you want me to do? Do you want me to bring a microcap stock, put it on YouTube? While you're watching it, I'm going to unload on you. And then after I unload,
crazy,
well, who cares? Who cares if the company is good or not? As long as I made my money.
Right.
Is this what you want me to do? Are you going to call me a legend if I do that? Would you want me to bring out companies that are dying, have no future? But I'm going to show you, I don't know, I'm going to show you a picture of a cat that has a stock price on the forehead or something that you have to find.
Yeah. You know? Do you know this? Is there any short interest on Aduro by chance? Do you know if there's a small short interest on Aduro?
I don't
I'm
know
sure there.
much.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's a conglomerate out there that are shorting this stuff. These are the kind of the on the fringes influences that I've had to fight through, you know, in markets. And I think at the end of the day, what me and you, at least I'll speak for myself. When I come on and I introduce the ticker symbol and I introduce where people can find information, that's far and away more than enough information that you need to get your start. That's it. Okay. That's it. Okay. It's totally on you to do your due diligence from there. But I lost my train of thought. Hell, I don't know.
Yeah,
Man. I'm all pissed off now.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think we should wrap this up. I gotta go and eat dinner.
Sounds good, man. Thank you for coming on, man. I'm going to go for another 20, 30 minutes or so with my crew. I got some stuff to talk about.
All right, sounds good.
Mary, you stay positive, man, for better days for sure. What people don't understand is that 2025, 2026, 2027, those are inevitable. Where are you going to be there looking back on this time, man, when me and you came on and kind of set the stage and talked about the fact that we're in the desert together? It's going to change. It's just that simple. So buckle up. It's going to be quite a ride. Thanks for coming on, my friend. I appreciate you. Be well. All right.
All right. Take care.
Yeah. Be well. Later. Very cool, man. Proud to have Mariusz on, man. He's a featured channel of mine. If you like what you hear, you can kick over, help support him. I think a lot of people already have. That's great. He's grown his channel quite nicely. For you guys, I got a message about a week ago. And it was a long explanation. Ryan, you've moved away from your roots. No, I haven't. You know, you come out with these videos, and you know you're promoting now. That's all you do. You don't talk about portfolio building, and I find that a little bit ironic. And my question back to the individual was this: look, if by nature of your association with the Independent Investor Channel 8 years ago, you find yourself, contrary to where a lot of other people find themselves in 2024, in a financially strong position, finding ideas and philosophies and approaches to the stock market that you would have never found on your own by nature of your interaction, to a free subscription to the Independent Investor channel. Man, it's yours. If I was a subscriber to my channel, I would put it in my back pocket and I would never unsubscribe. That's just me. Okay, you can call it for what you will, but I don't charge you anything for this information. You can come on, you can get those ideas, you can be happy with the fact that I love doing the coverage of the companies. It pays my bills, whereas YouTube doesn't. I don't make money on doing the live stream. I do the live stream for free, right? And that's an admirable thing, because you know, where I would tip my hat to somebody and say good luck to you. I'm sorry that you feel like there's a perceived movement in a different direction. I'm the one who looks in the mirror and I'm like, and I'm the same fella. You know, I'm different now at 46 years old, approaching 50. I feel great. You know, I've got things dialed in with regard to health and wealth and diet and professionalism and my investing moxie and what I bring to the table and what I share openly. Not a lot of people do that. And I think for people who truly understand, I think they can resonate with the idea that there is no duplicate of what I bring to the table on YouTube. None, zero, zero. I'm as real as it gets. If you've watched my live stream frequently, if you've talked to me behind the scenes, if you've talked to me in person, you're going to find that it's a little underwhelming, because I'm not a superstar. I'm not somebody who has any type of generated hype at all. Whatever hype I will take credit for is from those patrons of the message who have built real wealth for themselves, like Carl, like the example of the person that I shared with you at the top of the live stream, who came here, worked security, night security for 10 years to build wealth here in the United States of America, found my channel, was able to grow 6 figures of wealth, and now he's going back home to Greece to live a happy retirement at 72 years old. That's pretty awesome. That's the type of stuff that, quite frankly, I know has the potential to reach people that I would be unprivy to. All I'm privy to is those people who come on and feel obliged to tell me how I don't meet their expectation, and how some way they need to part ways with the channel, and that's no problem. At the end of the day, my friends, you make an investment in me the same way I make an investment in you. And you'll look back, if you unsubscribe from the Independent Investor channel, you'll regret it, no doubt about it. Because like I said, there is no other person. There's a lot of people who bite my topics because my topics are right on the money. You know, I can tell you that we can talk for years and years on philosophy and psychology about financial markets. But when it comes down to it, the majority of people out there that want to get involved with financial markets, it can do so, quite frankly, by just buying the S&P 500. That's your start. Start to learn to fund markets, which I have done over many, many years. All right. And it's that discipline and understanding that NVIDIAs of the world don't go up forever. Okay. As much as it appears like it's a for sure thing. I bought NVIDIA pre-split. I made 2 grand quickly and I'm out. I exited. I take my 2 grand profit. I'm good. I'm happy. No problem. I swung trade it. Couple of days, couple grand. I'm good. I'm out. Simple, easy money, right? I was willing to go long the stock because the stock is actually undervalued right here. Trading at a fairly interesting valuation for what they're doing and what they're making. But, you know, my point is you don't always have to just funnel into one particular name. You can look to deploy more of a fundamental strategy over financial markets, and you'll be happy that you did. You really will. Take control of your money. It's liberating to do so. I want to share the portfolio with you guys. Absolutely. We're going to go a little overtime tonight, so stick with me. If you have questions, I'll get to that in about 5 minutes. If you have questions for me, leave it in the comment section. Say hello. Tell me where you're coming from, right? Whether or not you're thinking about unsubscribing or you're on the fringes. That'd be awesome. All right. But here we go. We got this account is the joint portfolio, just shy of the $50,000 threshold. I talk about thresholds of wealth all the time. And you're going to see Aduro is held in a lot of these positions here. It's come off a little bit. So the net worth has digressed with that one name. Overall, the net worth has increased. You'll see that here in a couple of minutes after we're done with the review. But here's Roth 1. This is all tax protected money. You know, some single stock in here, the addition of SCHD, VBK growth, that's small cap growth, that is showing some signs of appreciation. And then the Vanguard's S&P 500, we just passed over $10,000 of profit in that holding. So 10,000 of free wealth. Those are just the, you know, again, I can come on and roaring kitty all the day today, but the difference between that message and this is that anybody can look at this and enjoy this approach or philosophy to the markets, right? Very few people, if not the majority of people who adhere to the other message, stand a big chance of losing significant capital. Okay. Here's my Roth. Crept over the 100,000. I've made 100,000 at least 10 times. It's gone over, it goes under, it goes over, because I like to get firmly into the 6-figure realm, but slowly but surely we'll continue to fund that. And this has been kind of, I mean, I apologize to the people who have requested this of me. I'm not with M1 Finance anymore. For those of you who are with M1, it was weird, man. It was like the first time in my life I've ever moved away from a business that I really liked. I loved M1 Finance. I loved every second of it. I loved what they did. I loved their platform. It was a wonderful platform to fund over time. For me, it was really about consolidating the accounts down and making higher interest on my idle cash. That's what it came down to for me. So I did move the ETF portfolio over to Fidelity, like in kind. I never sold anything. I've added to the VGT a little bit more. That's the technology element to this, to kind of add a little bit more of a realistic exposure in line with the S&P 500. And we'll continue to do that, but we're over 31,000 there. You can see the value of that has grown quite nicely. This is the dividend portfolio, 70 stocks in there, over the $50,000 threshold. Apple had a great week this week. They just mentioned AI, and there's some pretty good churn around Apple right now and what the prospects could mean about them going after their existing subscriber base and huge pool of clients that hold the hardware, and actually hinting at having some strategic advantage over companies like Microsoft and or Nvidia. Okay, so interesting enough, I own Apple. I have for a long time. This is the passive piece here, nice 6-figure in the TSP. For you guys that don't know, I've been funding this for about 13 years. So 13 years, that's it. I mean, if you live a life and you only live for 13 years, you know, it's not going to help you very much, but I plan on living a long life, 12% year to date on this. I give you the allocation just so you can see the 73% in the S&P 500, 13 in small cap, 6% in the I fund. The G fund I'm funding just to build a little bit of cash, maybe a down payment on a house someday, maybe some level of cash that's available tax-free to me in the G fund when I hit 59. Okay. I find that the older I get and the more the income increases over time, the more surplus capital I have to fund the investments, and it's just as good as anything to buy. I run out of stuff. I don't need a lot of crap to make me happy. I'm already happy. I was happy yesterday. I'll be happy tomorrow. Little things make me happy, like going to the gym. That's free. Drinking coffee. I do like Keurig, French, what is it? French roast from Starbucks. I love that stuff. It's wonderful. 12.25 in the SEP. So that's kind of a cool opportunity there. That's the business account. I'm very blessed. The independent investors channel is not something that you know, 𝑪𝑢𝑠𝑡𝑉𝑢𝑚𝑏𝑛𝑎𝑖𝑙𝑠 was on the channel tonight. He works very hard. He almost is producing almost daily content, which is almost an ingredient of if somebody asks me, what do I need to do to succeed on YouTube? Something I refuse to do. But I give kudos to those that have the mental capacity to do that. It's quite a drain. It's a lot to produce daily content, but I've been blessed. This is the corporate account here. We're slowly building that over time. And you know, what could happen to this account if Aduro hits $10? Well, I'm at $250,000. I mean, it's just that simple. It's the math is it's there. Okay. If not, no big deal. You know, we'll live to fight another day. This speaks to my savings insistence right now for you guys that knew me 3 years ago when I was talking about the stock market crashing every day. We'd wake up and the market was down every day. It was down every day. We'd wake up and look, it's down. And we'd look at it again and down, and you'd hope it was up and it was down. It was down. I'd come on the live stream, it was down, down, down. What was I doing during that time? I was buying, right? And now with the portfolio value that I am going to declare to you, 2 short years ago, I was in the low 400s. Okay. I'll give you a hint of where I'm at now. All right. Low 400s, up a couple $100,000. Okay. To give you some insight on market philosophy. So back to the savings, right? Why do I share that? I'm saving fairly heavily to cash right now. I'm still dollar cost averaging passive investments. That's fine. No problem. But I'm aggressively saving to cash right now and looking to prepare for an eventual downturn if we ever get one. If we don't, no problem. I'll sit on the cash, no problem, right? We'll continue to build this up. Strategic goal by the end of 2024 at 50,000. That seems like a nice round, even number for me. But heed my interest in drawing back my philosophy to 3 years ago when the market was absolutely horrendous. And I fear that a lot of people out there were shaken out of the market. I was actually infusing into the market. Okay. And the byproduct of that infusion was enjoyed appreciation for the following couple of years. And here we are. I'm still enjoying that appreciation where, again, every single day I would come on the live stream. That sucks. Sometimes being an investor sucks. Right now, it does not suck. I mean, hell, I'm not roaring kitty, but I'm telling you, man, it does not suck. All right. I sleep easy at night. I truly do. It's a wonderful thing. This is something I'm sharing with you guys for the first time tonight on the live stream. This is the 401k. This is my wife's actually 401k with a 5% match. Started investing in this about just under a couple of years ago, perhaps 2 years. I don't think I'm that far off here, guys. For you guys that are tuning into the channel and you're lucky enough to catch this insight, if you could look at this and say, God dang, I could be at $10,000 in 2 years. Yeah, you could. You could. What do you want me to say? Buy GameStop? I think a lot of people who are buying GameStop stock are buying like $100 of the shares. So like if the stock doubles and it goes to $50, you make all of $100, right? Right? God dang, man, it's up 100%. What the hell? I only made $100. Yeah, go back and read about investing. And here it is, 609. We're over 600 for the first time. Very proud of the accomplishments in the portfolio. I'm glad to convey this. I don't do this for the sheer number. I do it to explain some of the fundamentals and philosophies that are deployed to actually achieve some of these levels. So very cool stuff, man. Start at the bottom. I watched Mariusz and Ryan's channel. Very good stuff. Kat, good to see you. Very cool. She says, great job. Yay. Thank you. That's very good. I didn't know he was going to come on until about 5 minutes before the show, but it's no problem. Just like the invitation is there for anybody in the community to come on to the live stream every Friday. Like I said, I've been on some serious leave the last 5 weeks, and I just appreciate Phenom's been with me a long, long time. You're just part of the family here on the Independent Investor Channel. And honestly, if I could ask something, I don't ask for money. I don't ask for support. You don't want to do that. Put the money in your own family's pocket. That's fine. But if I could get some level of payback on the channel, for me, it would be a devote subscribership and understanding that the philosophies that I talk about do transcend the masses. If the mainstream media would come out and talk like I would just stop the channel. But unfortunately, they don't convey what I think people need to hear on the regular, and I do. outside of being off the grid for the last couple of well, month and a half anyway. Everything seems to be going down, but Nvidia and Apple and Microsoft. Microsoft been on a nice silent tear, that's for sure. Apple just recently caught favor this week. It was up huge. It did not take a nice jump. I agree with you there. We got Victor in the house. Can hear you loud and clear. Sorry about the audio at the top. I had some cobwebs on the equipment. I had to shake off the cobwebs and try to figure out how to do live streaming again. You know, nice actually having a little bit of break. I actually made 41,000 selling Nvidia. Fantastic. Oh, I love stuff like that. Now 130 don't have any at this price. Very cool. Mid date. That's awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that success. I dig it, man. It's great. Very cool. Frame of mind. He's also been with me for many, many moons. I dig it. It's good to have you, brother. It really is. Thanks for being part of the community. We'll get to the top here, and if there's no comments, we will sign off. A few topics here I kind of wanted to talk about, but we will save that for next Friday. That's for sure. Very cool stuff. Cashews in the house, sharing the comments. Very good. Can't watch till home, but here to support. We appreciate it. Yeah, I've been indisposed in some good stuff, that's for sure. It's been fun. I missed the Friday live stream. Yeah, I do too. I enjoy doing the product. I'm very aware when I miss it. Sometimes I just can't help that, and I do expect that latitude when I ask for it. And if I don't show up, I don't show up. You got to set the notification bell. If you enjoy the product, I try to put the product down in a way that we can enjoy it, and I hope you feel the same. Becky's one of my favorite people I've met through social media, no doubt about it. Her and her husband are fantastic. Living the good life down in Florida. It's funny too, because she probably comes on and watches me, and she's like, "All right, Ryan's in the pocket right now. He's in that working phase of his life." And it's funny. I speak with a lot of young people, and a lot of young people don't have a lot of direction in life right now. They look at a landscape where seemingly everybody is a roaring kitty of the world, and all you have to do is just buy GameStop, and you never have to work again for the rest of your life. I don't mean to be a naysayer. If I could just wish everybody that type of success, I would. I have no problem with that. You want to shoot to the moon and win everything overnight, no problem, without working for it or without any level of appreciation to the value of that money. I think it's going to be a struggle for you to get your mind wrapped around the value of that money, which is psychologically a battle for a lot of people. But I think it's important for people to truly understand. I share the phase of where I'm at in my life and in my working career, and things couldn't be better. It's just that simple. Becky, great to see you. All the best of luck to you in Florida, and we'll catch you on the next one, that's for sure. But appreciate everybody who made it in. I didn't expect a huge crowd tonight, which is fine. For those that stopped in, I appreciate it. That's great. I'm not going to stop doing the live stream. The live stream will be here 10 years from now. I enjoy doing the product. I enjoy coming in. It's just as therapeutic as it is for you, as it is for me, talking about personal finance and how things are going and how we're building and how we're enjoying what's going on. I find it ironic how when things are terrible, people want to come in and, oh my gosh, what's going on with Ryan? But when things are good, everybody's like, oh, this is normal. Market comes and ebbs and flows, and opportunities ebb and flow. And I want nothing more than to report out someday that the Enduro Clean technology has given a win for the good guys. There's no doubt. I think 𝑪𝑢𝑠 is a good guy. He's really locked into a stream of work that I hopefully he's seeking out those other avenues of he mentioned soccer and mentioned the girlfriend tonight. Those types of things are cool, man. I get to kind of know people, and you guys know a lot about me, and you know against social rules of allowing people in a little bit and understanding who the source of the person delivering the information, it means a little bit to me. And it's a lot what he's trying to balance, and I'd like to see some reciprocity in the market. I'd like to see that good application is rewarded. Yeah, I can sit back and I can applaud the BS of the roaring kitties of the world, and but none of that is right. None of it. Retail will inevitably lose, and Wall Street, with huge swaths of money to throw around in the market, and continually day to day be able to move financial markets, is an advantage that small people just don't have. And to somehow suggest that you're going to play in that big game is a futile effort on my part. I would rather consider the opportunity. I might be naive about this, that we can actually identify opportunities in the market and profit from them. I understand that the markets are imperfect. I get it. But I do absolutely believe that there is opportunity there if well founded and well researched and well supported, and the timing and the stars and the money and the opportunity and the network and the people come together at the same time. I think you can put something together very, very special at the hands of a social media opportunity. So, with that said, guys, we'll wrap it down. We went about 25 minutes over on the fastest 60 minutes on YouTube tonight, about 90 minutes. So glad to help you guys understand and touch base with you where I'm at. I wish you the best. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Have a great rest of the weekend, guys. And we will be back next Friday. So plan on it. Tell your friends, man. Bring them in. Let's get up to like 50 people in the live stream to learn about. I think there's probably more than 21 people out there who are interested in building wealth. No problem. I'll continue to build wealth until I get there, and hopefully you can glean some of that success for your own personal success, man. I bid you all the best, and we'll catch you next Friday, guys. Take it easy, and we'll see you next week.